Hello, everybody. How did you get on with the 14-day challenge? Did you give up or did you persevere? And did you have any success, you think, with falling asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled? Hands up. Who had success? Come on. Some of you must have. I did not have any success with falling asleep while in the middle of imagining, as far as I know. I'm one of the few people, I think, on YouTube who will admit to being rubbish at this. So I take that as a good thing, because I don't believe everybody's really brilliant at this. I just don't believe it. But yeah, sorry, I didn't do that brilliantly at it. And I got very distracted by everyday things. I can't really remember if I did have any breakthroughs this week. All I know is I focused on falling asleep as though I was in a hotel room in San Francisco. Because Neville Goddard did something like that when he was trying to get out of the army, not imagining being in a hotel room, but just imagining his environment was where he really wanted to be. So I had a nice view out of the window of the Golden Gate Bridge, and I just imagined that I was there. And I actually stopped doing any imagining of situations that would imply I had achieved my aim. I think that was more about laziness than anything, but there you go. I personally don't believe that you have to fall asleep in the middle of the imaginal act to see it manifest in objective reality. I think if you are assuming that it's done, that's going to imprint on your subconscious mind. And especially if you're in this feeling of assumption as you fall asleep. I think the assumption is the most important thing. I just feel that. I feel it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to have faith in the assumption. Faith in the assumption is faith, really, isn't it? And one thing I thought during the week was the seed is sown. That phrase came into my mind. The seed is sown. And if I can think that on a regular basis, that's a sign of believing in it being done. That's an assumption, isn't it? The seed is sown, it's done. And you could think that too. The seed is sown, and so you don't need to do anything else. Just tell yourself that every now and then, and walk in the assumption that you're going to see whatever you've been imagining for manifest in the world. And you don't know how yet, but watch out for it. Have some kind of expectancy. Look for signs. There was a funny, I don't know if this is a sign or it's my own stupidity, maybe a bit of both, I don't know. But I don't know if you know the website, IMDb Pro or something like that. It's a load of initials. And I thought I'll join it for 1 month because it's got lots of contact details of agents. And I read a blog on a website that join for a month, it's free, and then just contact as many agents as you can and leave before the month's up. So everything's free. And I had a date in my mind that I needed to cancel the subscription by. But I was thinking a date for LinkedIn, because I also had a month free on that with some premium thing. And so I missed it by a day. And then suddenly I was charged for a year of it, which was 180 US dollars. It's a lot of money. 130 pounds doesn't sound as bad over 12 months. And I thought, oh no, I didn't want that. But at the same time, in that moment, I was thinking, maybe it's a good idea to stay with it for 12 months, give it a go. And so I didn't contact them and say, please, please, it's a mistake. Can I have my money back? And I just thought, will they do that anyway? I doubt it. So there you go, my money's gone. I've got 12 months on this Hollywood side. It's not just Hollywood, but it's really for actors. But I thought as a writer, I might be able to make some headway, don't know. So I just had this little doubt, like maybe it's supposed to happen like that, and this will help me in some way. And I haven't got anything else, so I left it. So maybe it's a waste of money, maybe not. Depends if I actually use it. So there you go, that's something. Yeah, that's about it. The seed is sown. I assume every day that it's just done and things aren't going to stay like this. And sometimes I feel really good about that. And sometimes I feel frustration with how my environment is still, because I'm impatient. But I believe it's done, and I believe things will change. I just don't know when. So I think now you've imagined for 14 nights, or however many nights you were imagining for, have faith that it's gone into your subconscious and it can't be reversed now. So don't bother yourself with any more imaginal acts of that kind. I mean, if you want to do another one, you can. Just walk believing it's done. That's all. Maybe it's hard to trust that it can be so simple, but we have to. And oh, there was one other thing as well I wanted to talk about, because I was reading this book, Awakened Imagination, on the train as I was going to do my reading at Westminster Cathedral, which is a Catholic cathedral. And I got up to page 16 and then did my reading, which I always enjoy. And then I was listening to the priest. And the strange thing is, he started talking about the scripture that says, in my I don't know what it is. In my Father's house are many mansions. That one. And with mansions being referred to by Neville Goddard as states. Sorry, I can't get my words out. I'm just sleepy now. So anyway, he read this, and then he started his homily, which is, it can be about anything. And he chose to talk about this piece of scripture. And so my ears pricked up, and I thought, this is going to be interesting to hear what his take is on it. It's going to be different from Neville Goddard's, that's for sure. And I have to say, before I say what he said, I have the utmost respect for the priests at the cathedral. And every time I go and hear a homily by them, I always learn something. And they're preaching about the same Bible. So I always try and find the connecting link. But usually it's about love. And it could be about everyday things and how we can incorporate love into our lives and love others. And so it's always helpful to me and always spiritual, and I always learn something. So I'm not criticizing at all. In fact, this priest in particular, I really like him, and I love his homilies. But actually, recently he said two things that I thought, no, that's not right. And maybe it's because I'm really influenced by Neville Goddard. I do believe what he says to be true. But it wasn't just that. It was just didn't sound right. And I'll tell you both of them and see what you think. Anyway, he read this, and the funny thing was, I was only a page away from it in this book. So when I got back on the train on the way home, I was like, oh, I was trying to find it, first of all, in the book, and I couldn't find it. And then I just opened it up on the page 18, and there it was. And it was actually just, I was almost about to read it anyway. So anyway, it's from the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 2 to 3, I think. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And that's what he read. And then he started to say about Jesus preparing a place for us. And then he said, well, why is this? Is it because it's messy? And he said, of course, Jesus is not messy, and he doesn't need to clear up the mansion. And I was thinking, and he said, but we need to prepare ourselves. We need to make sure that we're fit to enter the kingdom of heaven. And it all fitted in with what the church believes. And I believe that we need to rest in love, and then we do become closer to love. We become love eventually. So it's not that... I don't think that we have to change. It's already in us. It's just about resting in it and becoming what we already are. And I think that's what he believes as well. But the way he explained it didn't say to me, why was Jesus preparing a place for us? He turned it so that it was about us. And so it didn't feel satisfactory, the explanation. And Neville Goddard is saying that all the rooms in the mansions are different states, and that there are countless number of states that exist. And we are the operant power, so we go in to the state we want to possess, to live in, and we animate it by imagining it already and living in that feeling. And that's how you enter a state. And then the more you are going into it voluntarily, on purpose, you become it, I guess. So the explanation of Jesus tidying up and us needing to prepare ourselves didn't really tally with what Neville Goddard said. It was so different. And I wondered, what would he think about that? But if you're not used to hearing Neville Goddard, it's a big thing to explain all the states, isn't it? And it does all come back to the scripture in Mark, believe that you receive and you shall have it. And so really, we are believing the same thing. It's just Neville Goddard goes into detail of how to believe that you receive. And the church, they talk about faith. Some churches talk about believing that you've already got it more than others. Yeah, they don't really talk about that. I mean, they probably mentioned it before in the Catholic Church, but I've felt it more in Pentecostal churches, this idea of believing that you already have it. That's really emphasized there. Anyway, the main thing is we know what we have to do. It's all about faith in the end. So I hope that you have had a successful 14 days or however many days you did. And I hope the seed has been planted in your subconscious mind and that very soon it will bear much fruit. That's what I hope for everybody. Because it would be great if one day we can be telling each other the stories of how we got there. And I just recommend for anybody who doesn't really know what to do next, just to assume. Just believe. Have faith that you've done enough. You don't need to keep working at it. Just believe it's done. And then maybe things will unfold where you'll know how to direct your action towards fulfilling your dream. I mean, it could be that something just happens and it's done and you don't need to do anything. I don't mean working hard, really, pushing. I think it should just come naturally, and along with believing it's done, the action should just correspond to your belief and everything flow very harmoniously. That's how I imagine it to be anyway. So that's it really. I just felt like talking for a bit and connecting with some of you out there. I hope I have. When I thought the seed is sown, I looked to see if Neville Goddard had written anything on it, and I found a very, very, very long text PDF on the seed. So I might attempt to record it now and put it on YouTube, but it looks like quite a bit longer than 20 minutes worth, so don't know, let's see. Anyway, let me know how you got on and what are you going to do now? Please like if you liked and subscribe. Speak to you soon. Bye.